Now, in other news, the taxi rank at Somerset West, just outside Cape Town, has been closed and is currently guarded by a strong police presence. This follows the fatal shooting of at least 5 people there. A number of others have been wounded. No arrests have been made. The latest flare-up of taxi-related violence stems from alleged infighting over the control of certain routes in Somerset West and Mfuleni. Our reporter Mariska Botha spoke to the city's MAYCO member, that's JP Smith.
We're coming to you from Sea Point at the moment, where Cape Town Metro Police are busy with their morning drills to catch up with the MAYCO member for safety and security in the city, JP Smith, to talk about the recent taxi violence that's been escalating across the city. Let's get straight into it with JP to find out what the latest information is. Mr. Smith, good morning and thank you for your time. What is the latest updates regarding these taxi shootings that we've been seeing?
Right. So as of this morning, the rank is closed, and the both taxi associations are standing outside the rank, presumably monitoring to see that the other one doesn't go in. Last night there appeared to be another taxi-related shooting in Winnie Mandela Road in Langa, which we presume is linked to the same matter, and that I think brings the deaths now to 5 in this taxi war back and forth. As well as numerous people injured, at least 4 injured that we know of. So there is a substantial SABC deployment, and the city has, since the end of last week, maintained a continuous deployment at Somerset West rank and Mfuleni rank, the ranks in between and along the route, to try and discourage any reprisal attacks. But sadly, as the case in Langa last night shows, the offenders, some of the members in this association, appear to be willing to follow others home and then get them at home if they can't get them at the ranks where there is a police presence. We also yesterday saw the impoundment of 7 taxis. SABC had to deploy stun grenades to address the conduct of the taxi drivers, and there were 3 firearms that were taken in by SABC.
What is the cause of this recent spate of taxi violence?
The conflict stems between a disputed route between Mfuleni, or Nomzamo and Nwandle, and Somerset West, and it is essentially a fight between Kata and Kodeta around this route, with Kodeta being the licensed route holders and claiming that Kata are pirating on the route, and then the reciprocal violence and forced loading of passengers onto vehicles, and this has escalated tensions now with the resultant violence. And this is why the city consistently impounds taxis. It is to ensure that rogue taxis do not operate on other routes. When we do not get to all the pirate taxis, sometimes the industry takes the law into their own hands, and this is the consequences. So the constant intimidation and attempt to intrude on routes is a problem. This is not a government issue. This is a taxi internal, an industry internal issue. SANTACO, I think, is meeting with the National Minister today, and on Thursday, the minibus taxi task team will meet, including the provincial MEC.
I was just going to ask, are there talks with the City of Cape Town as well regarding this matter?
So I want to emphasize the point again. By all means, we are talking and will be talking to the industry and to SANTACO to try and beget some sanity and lawfulness and respect for life and property into the conduct. But the problem here is one of internal dispute within the association and vying for scarce, or vying for passengers on an overtraded route.
How many people are impacted by this if we're talking commuters?
I don't have those figures for you, but it is not a small amount of people moving between those 2 destinations. So a lot of people will be affected by that rank closure over these last few days. And I think that's the point that my colleagues have been making to the industry, that their primary purpose is moving passengers from between different destinations. That's outlined in the route permits, which are quite explicit about the exact route to be followed, the pick-up and drop-off points, and the industry is required to respect those laws and those operating permits. And unfortunately, this is what happens when that does not happen.
Thank you very much. That was, of course, JP Smith, the MAYCO member for safety and security in the city of Cape Town, talking to us about that very dire situation where we've seen an escalation of taxi violence. As you heard from Mr. Smith, this is about routes, and there will be talks on a very high level happening today and later in this week to try and resolve this matter, because the only people who are devastated by this are commuters who are caught in between this taxi violence. And there is certainly hopes that this matter can be resolved as quickly as possible.
Now, in the